Whenever I go thrifting, I always see tons and tons of glass. All kinds of glass. Glass like this, and even like this. So many different styles, wine glasses, bowls, centerpieces, you name it. And I can never figure out which pieces are valuable and which ones are duds. So, on this edition of This Week in Thrifting, we're going to inspect some thrifted glass. We'll see if WorthPoint can help us get started on our research and help us figure out what some of these pieces might be worth. So, let's get thrifting. Now, you'll often find glass on these top rows at the thrift store, which is a smart display choice because it allows the pieces to really catch some nice light. But don't limit yourself to what's at eye level. Here we've got some really lovely items hiding down on a lower shelf. So often, when I'm looking at glass, I just have no idea where to start. And it's extra difficult because there are a lot of glass pieces that don't have much in the way of marks. So if the mark has been rubbed off or it was never there to begin with, that can make your search extra difficult. But today I just decided to throw caution to the wind and do a search on my best description of this item down here, which looks to be a punch bowl. Now, when I'm trying to decide what I should put in my search, I try to pick out the characteristics that really make an item unique. So with this punch bowl, one thing that really sets it apart are these gorgeous curved edges. It's really distinctive, and it gives the bowl more of a square shape, which really sets it apart, at least from the other items on the shelf. And we see in the etchings there are these beautiful arch designs, these curves. I'm not exactly sure how to describe them, but I'm just going to do a search for glass punch bowl arches. And let's see what comes up. We've got lots of results, but hey, what do you know? This certainly looks very similar to the item we have found at the thrift store. This is described as Hobstar and Arches Punch Bowl. As we can see in the WorthPoint price guide, this item resold in 2024 for close to $70. And if we pick it up from the thrift store, it'll just cost us $6.99. So that's a fantastic deal. Plus, as I was looking around on these shelves, I saw in a different section these cups, which have a very similar arch design in the etching. They look pretty similar to the bowl we found, and it makes me wonder if they could even be part of a set. And of course, if we're reselling a set rather than just a bowl, we could ask for even more. Now that we've found a listing that seems to match our actual item, let's see if we can use some of the terms in the listing to help get our research started. One word that's new to me here is Hobstar. I'm honestly not sure what that refers to, if that's a design or if it's a manufacturer. So I'm going to head over to the WorthPoint blog and just do a search on Hobstar. Now this is an entry by an appraiser who specializes in Art Nouveau and the arts and crafts movement. It looks like he's analyzing someone else's glass punch bowl. In his description of the item, the author, we can see, refers to the Hobstar pattern. So that's what that word is describing. It's a type of design, it's a type of star. He also talks about the Brilliant period, which refers to a certain style of cut glass from around the turn of the century, and these styles are known for their geometric patterns, curving lines, and deep, elaborate cutting. Let's try another article and see what we can learn. Now, over here, we have a recap of some older auction sales. And we've got some descriptions of the various glass pieces and what they sold for. Again, we are having mentions of this Hobstar pattern, so we can see some more examples of that. Now, at the very top of the article, we see a photo of this glass tray, which resold for quite a lot. And this is helpful to us because we can really see why it would be so valuable. Just the shape alone is very unique, really stands out. And even though we can't see a ton of detail in this photo, we can see that it's got a pretty complicated design in the etching. So when sifting through glass at the thrift store, keep your eyes peeled for these types of unique designs and unique shapes that will set an item apart. Just for fun, let's go back to the price guide and do another search to see if we can find similar items that might have sold a bit more recently. Let's do a search for clear-cut glass, American Brilliant period, and see what comes up. We've got a wide range of values here. Some are in the $20 to $30 range, but many of them are going for more, some of them even in the hundreds. It's fun to look at the different designs that resold for more money, just to get a sense of those more distinctive designs that might bring in a higher resale price. As we can see, some of these oblong dishes are doing really well, or at least better than some of the more common shapes. And another piece of glass with this really tall stem here that resold for $400 in 2023. Of course, the research we've done here today, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There is so much glass out there, and so there's a lot more for us to learn. Even so, it was really fun to discover this piece in the price guide, and to see that we could resell it for 10 times what it costs at the thrift store. This process has definitely inspired me to keep an eye out for certain really exciting designs. Now, I can't say that all of these glass pieces at the thrift store are going to generate tons of profit. Also, glass is tricky to resell because you need to be extra careful with the packaging and the shipping to make sure it doesn't break. But if you're willing to take those precautions, and you're willing to keep your eyes peeled for those really striking designs, you might be in a position to make some decent returns. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the WorthPoint channel so you never miss a shopping trip. Until next time, keep thrifting.